Eliminate the workplace excuse. That's what leaders do. This is the Career Blind Spot Podcast.
Courtney, today's CBQ Career Blind Spot question. Why are we in a phone booth at Industrious?
Because secretly we're Superman? No, because getting out of the house makes us do work better.
Really? How come you never come here then?
Because it's not my membership, it's yours.
So the more raw behind the scenes, or you're not going to see it, we want to put content out regularly that is useful, not just to put it out, but I just have maybe not wasted, but learned this new audio equipment. Mm-hmm. Normally we record with our guy, Nick Tantillo, out of his studio. But I was like, hey, let's go do it at Industrious, and overhead lighting. I never realized how bad it was until
this phone booth has really decent.
This is so much better.
Lighting.
Yeah, and then with our fancy mics that I finally learned how to use, probably
that blend in seamlessly with my hair.
If it was a class, I think I'd be getting a C. But that's why we're here today. And in general, co-working, I think it's a concept most people know, but you're still someone who believes in remote work, or at least don't understand why. Actually, you might understand why going in the office is a part of some jobs, even though it's not the most effective. But, even when we were at Galvanize, I was at Workuity down the street. It's not around anymore, Mod, it's something else. There's a million of them. I'm a fan. It's only been maybe 2 months since I switched over. But what have you?
It's super fancy.
In general, co-working.
There is a decanter in the bathroom full of mouthwash and free lady products. I'm very impressed.
And a breast pumping room.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a
really
room.
nice.
It's not
room.
like a closet that they decided, hey, ladies who will never use this. It has a sink in it.
Mm-hmm. And it's called a wellness room, so
Yeah.
it's inclusive, and they have inclusive restrooms.
Yeah. But back up. Co-working in general. Now we raised the bar. Why? What has been your experience? Because I don't think it's something you would have done on your own.
No, it definitely is not something I would have done on my own. I'm very thankful that you introduced me to the idea of co-working, and I like spaces like this a little bit more where you're kind of tucked away and you have the option to jump in a phone booth like this, rather than in mid-pandemic we were sitting in a co-working space that just had a gigantic open room. And having to listen to other people after not being around it for a while was like, I can't do this. I feel like I'm crazy right now. But I'm going to start screaming, shut up.
I would say, Courtney, first of all, you're not a member here. You're my guest. Second of all, they are members here. And third of all, this is the open space. If you want privacy, then go rent an office.
I'm not talking about this co-working
No,
space.
I know. I'm talking about Galvanize. I'm talking about when we went. Like, you would get offended at people in public talking. And I was like, if you want a private space, then stay home or rent an office. But my point being, of bringing this up.
Is there a point?
Yeah. You complaining person. Freeloader.
Going. It's not like you pay for your membership.
That's actually one of the other perks. Like, not just Industrious or Galvanize. Like, you bring people. Like Galvanize, I loved it. I really was torn and leaving, because I would show off that place all the time. It used to be a fruit factory, and they flipped it. Fruit distributor. And I would show it off, and there was this vault and really cool industrial.
That vault was cool.
And here with Industrious, the irony, it's more of a flipped medical space, but it's closer to our kids' daycare, right next to my gym, much closer to home. I actually ride my bike here a couple times.
My favorite restaurant's right across the street.
Yeah, so my point of co-working, there's benefits of doing it, but the original one for me, the talkative one who dominates this show, is I would get lonely. I did most of my work on my Mac or in person. I chose to go to co-working because I wanted human experience. So Courtney's the irony of her talking about this time during the pandemic of getting bothered by other humans. And I get it, there's, safety and concerns and whatever it is. But the irony of I don't know if I got mad at you for that, but I'm like, Courtney, your expectation, you're in public. Mm-hmm. The benefit is human connection. I had forgotten
how to be in public. That was the thing.
But the reason, go before the pandemic. Did you even like going to co-working, or was it never your thing?
the last remote job I had before this most recent one, I did want to go to co-working and it didn't exist. And I think because it didn't exist and I just got further and further away from going into the office on a regular basis or having that option to co-work, I just was like, I'm just going to be a curmudgeon and hang out in my home office.
But it did exist. The cool version of it for the last 10, 15 years is fairly new. Kahoot's a local one. Shout out to Jenny and Odine. I think they're still traveling the world, but they have two in Mesa and Phoenix. But what's the one? Regis. It's like your dad's co-working space, and I've been to a couple, and it's functional. It's like when I remember when I would go not shop, but look for an apartment to live, and you're always looking for like, oh, they're going to be girls at the pool or parties, and like it's not really what you care about when you're truly looking for a place to live. But when you're younger, and with co-working spaces, it was more of it's the reliable place. You travel, you whatever. But they've always existed. You know, people have worked remote, and I think that's the other thing. People think remote is you're at home, and yeah, a lot, but also no. You know, most of the people that I've made friends with or clients, they're remote in a co-working space. And so, you know, today, I mean, you've talked about getting an actual space here, like our own dedicated office. Why is that appealing to you?
I think somewhere to separate from our home and our kids and all the responsibilities, because when I sit there, I'm like, I can do that laundry really fast. It won't impact my day. And then 6 hours later, I'm like, what the hell did I do today?
Yeah. The distraction, like you didn't understand when we first started dating. I was like, don't buy cookies. If I see them, I eat them. And you couldn't relate until other things that I was like, dang, you're a fiend for this kind of stuff. But when you're at home, you're going to see the mess, the distraction. This morning, not on purpose, not out of anger, although I guess I was angry. Our dog, we had shut the door because the pool guy was by
Put
cleaning.
the cover on the dog door,
And I pulled the cover off, but I ripped it off. Like the whole thing just
thing.
fell apart. We've had it for, what, 5 years maybe?
Longer than that.
And anyway, it's like, do I sit here and try to fit this?
Off.
But I was like, you know what? No, I'm a modern man. I'm going to ask my wife. You
Who
need to do.
enjoys doing
Yeah, and
that
she did
kind of
fix
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
But that's what 90 minutes that I was
Shout out to Ace Hardware.
if I went to Industrious first thing in the morning, that wouldn't be on my radar. Dog would be barking.
I would have broken it.
Would have peed in the corner. I don't know. But I get the benefit of co-working. It gives me, it fills my cup of social, but also it challenges me to, I mean, this, like I told Courtney, we were about to record, it looked awful. It looked like we went back in time 10 years. And I think you were just ready to get it over with.
It was kind of like Between Two Ferns style.
Yeah.
But like bad.
But I don't want to become this person who stays at home and thinks, oh, I'm better. It's like people who complain about their sports team. Oh, that guy sucks. Oh, why did he drop the ball? It's like, what are you doing?
Right.
For me, getting out to a co-working space is a way for me to like test my measurement of like, hey, am I articulating these topics well enough? Is this like but again, it's mainly a social thing.
Yeah, and I think for me it's kind of an interesting way for me to experience on a small scale being around people more often, and not just because I don't get energy from people doesn't mean that I shouldn't be around them, because I do get energized from talking to certain people about certain things. Yeah. I just need to take a nap when I go home.
But I think that's true of everyone, that we all get energy from talking to certain people about certain things. And there are people, actually I won't name names, but the people who would talk, they annoyed me too when Courtney, like her annoyance was annoying to me. But these other people, they weren't working. They'd come to this co-working space to have happy hour, and I'm like shut up, like whatever. But also I have to be like, it's like me saying like, why are people smoking weed at this concert? Like, shut up, it's what people do. But there are people who just want to talk for the sake of it, and I've been that person, I could be. But what I really enjoy, a lot of the younger leaders and salespeople that I've met are coming to co-working spaces. I want to meet more of the innovators, the people taking, I wouldn't even say risk, but just they're trying to be successful. They are successful and they're enjoying their lives, not just what they post and then their vacations and what they eat. I wanted to talk to them directly, as opposed to the people who are always talking about happy hour or American Idol, like not knocking these things. I don't know.
Is that still on?
I don't know. But my point is that I was like, that's not what we wanted here. And when I left other places, it's not to knock them. I just was like, I was looking for a different crowd. And this place might not be for you. Another local, Nativa, they're Latino or Hispanic, sorry, Eric, marketing company, and they also are a co-working space. Very mom and pop kind of local brick and mortar spot, not very huge, but it might be more your speed if you're into the local scene or want to bike to work. So my point is the co-working space has been around, and I don't think it's ever going to go away, but until you're intentional about it, you'll be stuck in an office or stuck at home with maybe not bad company, but you'll be lonely company. So any last words of wisdom or criticism on co-working?
No, I really like, I think I'm relearning some things that I had forgotten because I've been remote for so long. Things like, it's really fun to overhear other people's conversations as they work through problems so that you can steal the answers without having to work through it on your own.
But it's kind of like I remember with therapy, like you hear people complain and you're like, oh my God, like that's me or that's my partner. Like hearing another human, but in proximity to them, it's different than seeing it on YouTube. Like I can't explain it. Maybe science will one day. And I know for me, my reasons of going to co-work, I used to be in a booth like this all the time doing debriefs on assessments. And then one day I was like, I wasn't doing that nearly as much. And I would use my space more for hosting workshops. And I did a couple events. So be intentional. And I think the last thing, call to action, we kind of threw this on off the whim, is like, who do you want to run into? Who are you actually excited to? I think we all know like who we want to avoid. But if you could, maybe not every day, but 3 to 6 hours, a couple times a week, be around a certain vibe or topic or industry. And are there any co-working spots or events, happy hour, whatever it is, meetup? So that's it. And we'll have a couple more of these, but we'll go back to our old situation. Although, let us know what you think. I just try to use my computer, even though we're recording, on my phone.
I make this show for leaders, those who don't point fingers, but point towards ways they can do better at work. My ask for listening is you share the show on social and/or with other leaders, established or aspiring. Until then, no talent, no culture, no excuses.